What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleazebomb. Today and this whole day, we're going to be diving into all the rankings. This is my quarterback rankings, top 32, every single quarterback heading into week 3 to help you guys decipher who to start, who to sit, and who you guys, if you have any questions as well, drop them in the comments. I try to get to every single one of them. It does not have to pertain to this video. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up, hit that subscription button. All the support's appreciated. If you haven't checked out the Guys FF Discord, me and my partner Big Draft Energy, we host it together. Talk everything fantasy football 24/7 with you guys. Check it out. It's in the description. It's also pinned in the comments as well. And then we also drop our pick'ems, our DFS Tertiary Plays, all of our drafts and everything like that. If you want to draft with us, make sure you sign up on drafters.com and use promo code SLEAZE. It will double your initial deposit up to $100. And with the rankings videos, so I started something last week that I like a lot. So I'm going to be doing, this is just my takes on the quarterback, the game takes, how the game script's going to go, over, under, everything like that. If you want the full statistics breakdown for the positions, those are in my start sit quarterback videos. So I do all my information there, and then I do all my opinions here, so you get 2 sides per video and you don't hear the same thing over and over. So that's how I'm going to be doing it from probably the rest of the season here, because I like to throw my insights on this. Now let's dive into this week 3 quarterback rankings, and God, there's so many injuries, man. So guys, if you're new to the channel, this is my QB board heading into week 3 here. Baller tier at the top, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. All 32 quarterbacks going to be broken down here, and in my box, you got 3 quarterbacks already out by week 3, which is absolutely nuts. Joe Burrow looking like 3 months. Brock Purdy, possible return week 4, week 5, and JJ McCarthy 2 to 4 weeks. And we've got to talk about Jaden Daniels, who's day-to-day, and Justin Fields, who's got a concussion. We need him to practice either today or tomorrow. So I will talk about that in their rankings when they come up here. Let's dive into it here, guys. Starting off with number 1, this is going to be plain and simple this week, I believe, for me. Lamar Jackson is going to get Monday Night Football against Jared Goff. And just look at the high implied point total of 52.5. They were smashing the Cleveland Browns last week, and they just kept passing. They are on a mission after that loss to the Buffalo Bills in week 1, which they should have won. And they are just going to light up every single buddy from here on out. And I fear the Lions are going to get absolutely smacked in this game. Number 2 is Josh Allen. I know he's coming off that bad game last week, 11.8 fantasy points, and they pounded the rock with James Cook and Ray Davis. That could be another scary situation here versus Miami. I mean, their defense, you start everybody versus the Dolphins. They are absolutely struggling this year. The wheels are falling off. I fear 0-3 or 0-4, 0-5. You might see Mike McDaniels just gone here. So, you know, it could be more of a James Cook game here again, but I'm still not ranking Josh Allen past number 2. Number 3, and we're going to talk about them both here. Caleb Williams and Dak Prescott. I am putting both in the top tier. Dak Prescott at number 3, Caleb Williams at number 6. Now, when you're looking at Dak Prescott here last week, you know, the 88-point craziness versus the Cowboys and the Giants, and Brandon Aubrey saving the Cowboys season. Now you get the Chicago Bears. They really, really struggle versus the quarterback, versus the wide receiver. Jalen Johnson, you know, Fresno native. Shout out to, you know, Jalen Johnson. He was ruled out for the season, so that's their superstar corner that is gone. So CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson, they are going to feast in this game. And Caleb Williams on the other side, you got to look at Russell Wilson just dropping 450 yards and 3 touchdowns on this Cowboys secondary, and that's Russell Wilson. Now you got Ben Johnson. This is kind of a do-or-die game for the Bears here. And the Bears are going to be at home, and they're actually favored in this game. And it doesn't make any sense when the Cowboys are 1-1, they're 0-2. But I like both these quarterbacks for 20-plus points, and it's like people kind of forget that Caleb Williams is still QB9 on the year, averaging 21 points a game because they got blown out to the Lions last week. So I love both these quarterbacks to smash plays this week. Number 4, JD5 and the Washington Commanders. Now, you do have to pay attention to the injury updates here. They are playing the Raiders, so can they get away with starting Mariota? Of course they could. If they put Mariota out there, obviously I'm not putting him in my baller tier, but I've been saying all year long that Terry McLaurin, the ramp-up is going to be slow. This is where Terry McLaurin is starting, you know, going to ramp up. I said week 3, 4 is where you start to start him. Debo Samuel, Zach Ertz. Now you're going to have Jacory Krosky-Merritt as the guy out there. And the Raiders, without Brock Bowers at 100%, you saw their offense last week. It looked terrible. Opportunities are going to be here in bunches for the Commanders. I got JD5 at number 4. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Probably going to be a top 5 quarterback the rest of the way. Can't figure out what's wrong with the Chargers' run game. You're going to get a defensive battle game, you would think, in your mind, versus the Broncos this week in a division battle at the same time. But look what Danny Dimes did to the Broncos defense last week. He shredded them. So you're telling me that Justin Herbert coming in with all the weapons he has, the deep arm that he hits Quentin Johnson on, Keenan Allen, Lab McConkey. I mean, Justin Herbert's probably a top 5 quarterback the rest of the way this season, and I don't care what the matchup is for him. He looks absolutely ridiculous. Number 7, Patty Mahomes, hoping they get Xavier Worthy back out there to go along with Hollywood Brown and Travis Kelce. You're going to get the New York Giants. And again, you just saw the 80-point barrage between the Giants and the Cowboys. I'm not going to say that's going to happen again, but what you have to like is this is the Chiefs' season on the line here. Patty Mahomes has been balling. I know he's leading the Chiefs in rushing as well, but this is where they're going to have to open it up. They're going to have to win this game, and this is everything right here. This is where Patty Mahomes is going to have a 20-plus, 30-point game here against the Giants. Number 8, I've been calling it all year long. I'm still keeping him up here just because the tush-push possibility and his rushing touchdown, and the offensive coordinator coming out saying they're going to even do more run plays for Jalen Hurts. So I've been alluding to all year long that this pass game is going to be rough. You're getting the Los Angeles Rams, number 1 defense through 2 weeks versus the quarterback. Very good versus the wide receiver. This defense gets after you. Jalen Hurts, I even want to drop him lower. It's just that tush-push possibility here in the game that keeps him up for me. Number 9, Baker Brown Mayfield. All this guy does is just produce another season. He's averaging 21.2 points a game, QB7 on the year. You're going to get the Jets. We don't know if Justin Fields is going to be out there, so we'll talk about this at the same time. So I got Justin Fields at number 15. His rushing upside is always going to keep him in the top 15 for me. I'm not letting one game scare me away against the Buffalo Bills where they played bad. But, I mean, Baker Mayfield is lighting up Mike Evans, lighting up Egbuka, Bucky Irving out the backfield, Rachaad White. Baker Mayfield's got these Bucs ready to win this division and be a playoff team already this year. His fourth quarter and drive, you just root for Baker. It's crazy. And then Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Tampa Bay struggled. Their defense has not been as good this year like I thought it would be versus the run. Could you see a lot of Brees in this game? Could you see a lot of Garrett Wilson? I'd like to see Mason Taylor get involved. They haven't got the rookie going yet. But it was one of those aberration games. Don't panic on 1 week and be like, oh, my God, is Justin Fields done after he dropped 34 points and he can break fantasy football any single week. Number 10, Drake May, my smash play of the week last week. Absolute gold right there. Now, in this matchup, you're going to get the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has not been amazing, guys. They have all the names. It looks great on paper. It just hasn't gelled yet. And Drake May is already QB 10 on the year, averaging 21 points a game. And I know he had a rough week 1 and then popped week 2 here. And he got the rushing game going a little bit as well, which is what you like to see with his wheels. So I usually would be like, man, you're playing the Steelers, but this defense has been very bad, so I'm keeping Drake May at number 10. Number 11, Kyler Murray is going to be going up against Mac Jones. Now, Kyler Murray, the struggle with finding Trey McBride a touchdown, with getting Marvin Harrison Jr. involved. I mean, if you look at the box score, yeah, Marvin Harrison had a touchdown on week 1, but he only had 6 targets. I mean, they're like the 2-0 grunge team to me that had easy matchups. Kyler still has the legs, he still can give you the rushing upside. And the 49ers, he always goes off for 20 points on or around there. So I'm going to keep him at QB 11 this week. Number 12, Jordan Love. And this could be even sneaky higher to me, and let me tell you why here. So Jordan Love is going up against Cleveland Browns. This run defense has been out of their mind. And you saw last week with the Packers, they don't care if they're up by 14, 20 points. They're still going to take that deep shot. They're still going to air it out. Jordan Love is possibly right now the best value in fantasy football quarterback you could have gotten the 10th or 11th round, which is absolutely bonkers. And I just think this passing game, once Matthew Golden starts to click, it's going to open up even more, and they're going to be unstoppable with the defense they have, giving them the ball over and over and over with Micah Parsons' addition. Number 13, Bo Nix going up against the Chargers. Now, Troy Franklin has had a little breakout here. You got their little Oregon connection going. I would love to see more Evan Ingram. He's been hurt since week 1. His snap shares at 30-40%. You got to see that come up. You still got Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, their home run hitter. And it seems like J.K. Dobbins is their guy. But in this game, you're also going to get a little bit of help here. So Khalil Mack is going to be out with a dislocated elbow that happened last week. That'll take a little pressure off Bo Nix on the edge because, that guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Bo Nix found a little rhythm last week in the first half, then kind of shut it down. It was like a fall off in the second half versus the Colts, which was crazy. So he's still, everyone panicked after week 1. You can't let those panics kick in. Number 14, and here we go. Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes is quarterback 2 overall on the season, guys, with 52.3 points. He's averaging 26.2 points per game, 29 and 22 in both games. And he did it against the Denver Broncos. So if he can do it against one of the top 2 defenses, what makes you think that you can't start him versus Tennessee Titans, right? I know it's going to be kind of a grunge, maybe a grunge battle here, but Jonathan Taylor looks unbelievable. This offense is clicking on a different rate with Danny Dimes at quarterback, and it's crazy that I have him in my top 14, but here we are. Number 16, Trevor Lawrence, one of my smash starts last week. Absolutely hit gold there on that one as well. This one, you get the Texans. They're very good versus the run. They struggle versus the pass, but we need to see that BTJ connection kick in here. Like to see a little more Travis Hunter used on the offensive side here in this game. He had to cover, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase last week. The Texans also get Christian Kirk back, so we'll see how that goes. And, speaking of that game, we're going to go right to that. We're going to go CJ Stroud. This is brutal right now. CJ Stroud's had 2 very tough matchups. You got to give him that. But Nico Collins not getting involved like I thought. Even the touchdown that he had, still after that, nothing. Christian Kirk back, maybe that helps across the middle to open things up for CJ Stroud as well. They have no run game. They have no offensive line. This has got to rely on the shoulders of CJ Stroud, and he has to start waking up in not fantasy football here, NFL at the same time, Number 18, Michael Penix, and I thought about dropping him down here. You're playing the Panthers, and the Panthers, they get just gashed by the run. And you've seen Bijan and Tyler Algier both take 30-plus touches in a game. So I expect that to happen here again. I don't like Penix as a smash start this week at all in this matchup unless they score 2 touchdowns in the first 2 drives through the air kind of thing here. Number 19, Mac Jones, 3 teeters last week. First showing with Shanahan and got the win with so many injuries for the 49ers. And now we are headed back home finally after 2 road wins. You get the Arizona Cardinals. He's probably going to be a 15, 17-point play. You got Juan Jennings. You got Kendrick Bourne, his little connection he has for the Patriots. Kittle's still out. Ayuk's still out. Persal's out there. CMC always changes everything. So I like Mac Jones at number 19 this week. Number 20, Jared Goff. And you guys are going to say, why Jared Goff coming off that big game? Because that's the mistakes people make in fantasy football. If you think that the week before is going to happen the next week. Jared Goff was at home. He always balls out at home. He always struggles outside of the dome in a outdoor arena. Now you're going to Baltimore, man. This defense is going to get after him. That offensive line is going to get absolutely wrecked in this game. Jared Goff, I have at quarterback 20. Number 21, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers headed into the New England Patriots, and you could have a possibility of Christian Gonzalez back in this game, which would hurt DK Metcalf. Still starting them volume-based. I don't think the run game is going to be much effective here with Jaylen Warren heading into this game as well here. So, quarterbacks from here on out, pretty much super flex talk, and then if you, had injuries to the waiver wire with Purdy or McCarthy or Burrow. Number 22, Tua. I said he hit 20 points last week. He did. This week, you get the Buffalo Bills. And look what they just did to Justin Fields and the Jets. Could they get garbage time points? Do the Jets have the same weapons as Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? Probably not. And Devon Achane at the backfield still. But Tua could be, a sneaky super flex play if you need one, because they could be just behind throwing heavy, which they're going to do all year is just pass heavy because their run game is going to be non-existent. So, another one of these deep dart throws if you need. And number 23, Cam Ward. And man, the NFL threw this guy just to the wolves. First 2 weeks, he plays 2 of the top 3 defenses at Denver, then versus the Rams. He finally gets a little room to breathe, but you would think. And then the Colts are 2-0. So he might be in for another one here. This Colt defense has been impressive. So I want to see Cam Ward get it going here. It's just not a sexy start for me. I have him at quarterback 23 this week. I do like the Alec Ayamanor breakout you're getting, but I think that breakout's coming because Calvin Ridley has been the focal point of both games. Number 24, and here we go. We're going to do both these together. The backup quarterback game. Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. And the only reason I'm putting Carson Wentz higher is because Jake Browning's offensive line is absolutely terrible, and the Vikings blitz at the number 1 rate. And Carson Wentz has Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson. I think he's going to get more involved in this game. I think it's actually better that Jordan Mason's probably going to take this rollover. I've been saying that all year long, that he's the league winner. And I know that Browning's been in the system for 5 years, and you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. The Vikings defense, I feel like is light years better, so I'm putting him over him by 1 spot. Number 26, Matt Stafford, not throwing him out there versus the Eagles this week. He could be a nice 15, 16-point play if you need Eagles secondary. Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell. This is going to be a grunge defensive battle game here. And I know you have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams that are absolute studs out there. Still, I don't like Stafford a lot this week in this matchup. Number 27, Bryce Young. You finally got a little bit of, Bryce Young breakout in the second half last week. He threw for more yards in one half than Jalen Hurts has all year long. But you get the Falcons, and this Falcons secondary with Bates at safety and the rookie they drafted at safety, they are going to be one of the best secondaries in football, if not the best already. So it's a very tough matchup with A.J. Terrell on Ted McMillan. Could they get it on in garbage time again? Possibly. I just don't trust it. Number 28, Sammy D. Darnold, gets the Saints. I think this is going to be more of a run-heavy game for the Saints, or for the Seattle here with the Kubiak system against the Saints. I don't think the Saints are going to do much at all at the 12th man versus the Seattle defense. So I don't really like Sam Darnold in this game that much either. And these last four, we're just going to rattle them off here. I don't think you're starting any of these guys. So Joe Flacco, 29, Geno Smith, 30. We saw how, and you're going up against the Packers with Joe Flacco. No way. Geno Smith, we saw how the offense looks when Brock Bowers is banged up. He looked terrible. He was throwing, hospital duck balls into the defense. It was absolutely crazy how bad he looked. Russell Wilson, I am not buying that he's going to bounce back or 2 in a row for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns like the Cowboys. You're playing the Chiefs in a do-or-die game here. I think it's going to be a really ugly game for Russell Wilson. And Spencer Rattler, he's coming off a good game as well here too, but you're going into Seattle. I'm not trusting that one single bit. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my week 3 quarterback rankings. And man, these injuries at quarterback have to stop. There's way too many this early in the season. Before we head out, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up, tap that subscription button. All the support is greatly appreciated. And if you have any comments, doesn't have to pertain to this video, fire them in there. I try to answer every single one of them to help you guys dominate this year. If you haven't checked out the Discord and you want to talk football 24/7 with us off stream, the guys FF, me and Big Draft Energy cover everything you need: roster reviews, trades, DFS plays, pick'ems, everything like that. Speaking of those, make sure you sign up on drafters.com. Shout out to the sponsor. Make sure you use promo code SLEEZE. It will double your initial deposit up to $100. And my next videos will be running back, wide receiver, tight end rankings. I'm going to try to get them all out to you today. So you have my stardom, sit-ems, and all my rankings. That's it for me, guys, in this episode. Thank you for listening, man. Sleazebomb out. I'll catch you in the next one.